Thoth and the ancient pyramids of Giza in Egypt. Light and darkness. The ruler of darkness is ignorance. Ignorance is a state of consciousness where fear, chaos, and destruction is formed and created. Ignorance is the lack of knowledge, and it was found within man as the darkness of the soul. Yet light was found, and information filled the souls of mankind, and man walked in the light and became bright as the stars of heaven. The kingdom of heaven has expanded as consciousness has expanded throughout time and space. Every man and woman must go on a journey to seek the light and become a seeker of truth. Hello, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining me on today's lesson. I'm just going to be sharing with you guys some of the things that I researched and some of the things that I have learned and discovered with reading the Emerald Tablets of the Atlantean Thoth. I found out a lot of different things as I began to awaken, as I began to meditate on the Emerald Tablets. A lot of things just happened for me. Okay, so I want to go over some things to let you know what I have learned. Okay, so the tablets were written for spiritual enlightenment so you could gain spiritual knowledge. As you meditate on the information provided in the Emerald Tablets, it will lead your soul into higher forms of consciousness. These tablets is a gift from Thoth himself, and you can elevate in consciousness quickly. Thoth is the God of knowledge and wisdom, and he has guided humanity from age to age, and he is a master of light. He became one of the highest priests in Atlantis, and he was taught in the temple by his father. Thoth was a god in Egypt, and he built the Great Pyramid of Egypt. He built the pyramids to protect the Emerald Tablets, and the temple served as the hidden entrance to the Halls of Amenti. There is a doorway beneath the Great Pyramid that leads to the underworld or the spiritual world. The Master of Masters dwells in the underworld, which are the beings of great light or the ascended masters. Most people know Thoth as an ascended master, so there you have it. Now, we're going to discuss some things here about the Bible and ancient Sumer. Thoth has many names throughout history, and in Sumeria, he was known as Nedgishzida, the son of Inky. On a higher level, I believe Thoth possibly incarnated as Yahshua to fulfill the plan of God. Thoth's teachings are like Yahshua's teachings, and Yahshua is also an ascended master, okay? So as you guys actually look into the Bible, you will notice that there is similarities between the Sumerian tablets. Okay, so you have to pretty much do your own research on this just to see the connection between this. Now, for me, I've always asked, like, who was the God of the ancient Israelites, in the Bible? Well, with all of my research that I have done, I say Inky. Okay, so Inky, taught Thoth many things, and he was very intelligent. He was great in knowledge and wisdom, and he understood creation and the universe. Enki was a master scientist, and he created humanity. Now, you can see, in the Lost Book of Enki that he studied the heavens and the earth. Now, you have to do your own research on this to understand everything that I'm telling you, because I've read the Lost Book of Inky, and I've read plenty of books. So I'm just giving you an overview of everything that I've learned and telling you what I've gained from reading these texts. Now, many people wants to know, well, who is Inky? Who is Thoth? Well, where did they come from? Well, I just want to let you guys know, as you can see here, they were Nibirians, okay? They came from the planet Nibiru. They are sons of Nibiru, okay? Later, they were known as the gods of Nibiru, or the gods of heaven, okay? Now, why did most people identify these beings as gods? Okay, well, first of all, their planet pretty much crossed the heavens. Okay, heaven simply means space, you guys. Okay, so back then, our ancestors, they were, I would say, um, we used a lot of symbolism. We spoke in code a whole lot, so we knew what Nibiru meant back in the ancient times. But as time went on, you know, our people lost the knowledge. Okay, so we have to understand that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob descended from the celestial planet Nibiru. You have to understand this on a higher level. Okay, Nibiru was known as a celestial manifestation of the God of the Israelites. Okay, so if I'm saying that Inky was the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, well, where did Inky come from? Well, he came from Nibiru, so he would be the God of what? The Israelites, right? And he would what? Be the God of Nibiru. Okay, so Nibiru just became a symbol for the Israelites to know that this is where their ancestors came from. Okay, now Nibiru is identified as the destroyer. Okay, and you can see all of this information in the Koran Bible. And most people want to know, well, why is Nibiru, associated with the destroyer? Why? Well, because it caused destruction on the earth as it passed through our solar system. So of course, if you was back then in the ancient times, how would you identify this object that passed through, and then you see in the real world all of these destructions that's happening around you? You're going to associate this planet with destruction. So it became the destroyer. Okay, and a little bit more into that, the Anunnaki or the Nibirians, since they came from this planet that caused destruction, they also caused a lot of destruction on the earth in the past as well. Okay, um, so that's how people pretty much know them by. Most people know them by the gods of war. Okay, because yes, they were warriors and they fought, and they mainly fought with each other. Okay, so it was like Inky and Enlil, the two brothers. They pretty much fought against each other, and their sons pretty much had beef with each other. So you already know how that goes. So it was already a little chaos in their own family, and they pretty much brought that here on the earth. Okay, so anyway, so as you become more aware, you will start to see a lot of things add up with some of the stuff that's in the Bible. You will be like, oh yeah, that's the Anunnaki. Oh yeah, the Israelites is talking to one of the beings on the Nibiru. Oh, okay, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? So you have to put everything together so that you can see the whole picture. Don't listen to people out here who just gives you part of the story, which is why they've taken a lot of things out of the Bible so that you won't know the full truth. Okay, you have to go outside of the Bible to get more information so that you can put all the pieces to the puzzle. Okay, now when you read the Lost Book of Inky, you will see that Thoth actually built the pyramids. Okay, so yes, a lot of people right now just keep questioning this. I don't understand why. Like, you have all these documentaries about ancient Egypt and who built the pyramids. They're like, oh, this person built this or that. No, it says who built the pyramids. Okay, it was Thoth. Okay, give him credit. He came from Nibiru. Okay, it's point blank simple as that. So stop trying to figure out when it already told you who built the pyramids. There is no mystery. We already know who built the pyramids, okay? So we have to get past that, you guys, and move forward in our journey, because some people just want to keep us back when we already know the truth, okay? Now, when you read the Lost Book of Inky, you will see that it says, "Let us beside the twin peaks a monument create. The age of the lion, let it announce. The image of Ningishzida," I'm probably saying that wrong, you guys, but "the peak's designer, let its face be, let it precisely toward the place of the celestial chariot's gaze. When by whom, and the purpose, let it to the future generations reveal." This information now, you guys, is found in the 10th tablet of the Lost Book of Inky. So you have it right there where Thoth is telling you in the age of Leo, okay, this is when this was built, okay, and he built it, okay. So let's go to the next. A little bit about the Great Pyramid, you guys. You know that there is an underground chamber revealed, that has been revealed to us recently, okay. Now the Great Pyramid has been a temple of initiation into the mysteries, and I believe, you guys, Yahshua was initiated into the mysteries, and I believe that's when he found out who he was, okay. Now the chamber is a gateway that leads to the Halls of Amenti. Now the Halls of Amenti, to me, means that it's a spiritual realm, okay, within the space of the earth, okay. So these halls contain the records of the dead, okay. So the halls of records is a spiritual realm storing the books of life. If your soul reincarnates on the earth, you could gain access to your records, and all the knowledge learned in a past life would be restored to you, okay. So maybe this is how Yahshua found out the plan of the Father. If Yahshua is Thoth, then he went to the Halls of Amenti and talked with the Master of Masters, who would be Inky, okay. And the only reason why I say that is because as you continue to look, like in the Emerald Tablets, it talks about this dweller and how Inky was being taught. And it's like, okay, well, who will he be getting taught by? And I'm like, okay, will be his father. So his father was Inky, okay? So the Halls of Amenti is beyond time. The Masters of Time pretty much understood that the all exists in the past, present, and future. Remember, now they are masters of time and space, you guys, okay. You have to understand this on a higher level. You have to read the Emerald Tablets. You have to meditate on the Emerald Tablets to understand why I'm telling you guys all of this, okay. So if you also read the Lost Book of Inky, you will also see that Inky pretty much felt guilty for all that happened on the earth. And I believe he was responsible for a lot of things, and you guys should know why. You know, if he created humanity, then everything that has happened within humanity will be placed back on him, because he was the one who created us, right? So you got to kind of put it all together. You know, if you created something and then something went wrong, you're like, oh my God, like, this is my fault. You feel guilty, and you're like, okay, I got to figure out how to fix this. Okay, so this is where I'm coming from, where I'm telling you guys all of this. Okay, now, so I really think that he wanted to find a way to make up for, all that happened, and he came up with a plan of salvation. Okay, so since he is a master of creation and of time and space, he would be able to organize, plan, and initiate a plan for his descendants, since he is the father of the Israelites. Okay, so I'm going to read the history of Thoth the Atlantean. I'm going to read a section that's in Tablet 1. Grew I there from a child into manhood, being taught by my father the elder mysteries, until in time there grew within the fire of wisdom, until it burst into a consuming flame. Naught desired I but the attainment of wisdom, until on a great day the command came from the dweller of the temple, that I be brought before him. Few there were among the children of men who had looked upon that mighty face and lived. For not as the sons of men are the children of light when they are not incarnate in a physical body. Chosen was I from the sons of men, taught by the dwellers, so that his purposes might be fulfilled, purposes yet unborn in the womb of time. Long ages I dwelt in the temple, learning ever and yet ever more wisdom, until I too approached the light emitted from the great fire. Okay, brothers and sisters, now I want to make some points out, okay? Now, when I read that, I was like, look, now, if the dweller of the temple was Inky, then we know that Inky chose his son Thoth to fulfill his purpose in a future time. Okay, now it said, chosen was I from the sons of men, taught by the dweller, so that his purposes might be fulfilled. Now, Yahshua was chosen, remember? Okay, and he was obedient to the Father. And he fulfilled his Father's plan. So there is a connection. I don't know if y'all can see the connection, but I can see the connection. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, okay? But if I'm right, I'm figuring out some of these hidden mysteries, okay? Now, Thoth dwelt in the temple, learning every and yet more wisdom, and so did Yahshua, okay? Now, I'm going to read another section in Tablet 1. It says, taught me he the path to Amenti, the underworld where the great king sits upon his throne of might. Deep I bowed in homage before the lords of life and the lords of death, receiving as my gift the key of life. Free was I of the halls of Amenti, bound not by death to the circle of life. Far to the stars I journeyed until space and time became as naught. Now, y'all, when I was reading the Bible, okay, Yahshua said in Revelation 1:8, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, says the Lord God. I am the one who is, who always was, and who is still to come, the Almighty One. Revelation 1:18 says, I am the living one. I died, but look, I am alive forever and ever. And I hold the keys of death and the grave. Or it has Hades in there. Okay? Now, y'all, remember Thoth has the key to Amenti. This is the same key that Yahshua has, you guys. And Yahshua, understands time and space as well. Okay, because if you look at the scripture, you guys, he is saying, I exist in the past, present, and the future. You have to see it there. He says, I'm the one who is, who always was, and who is still to come. He's talking about how he existed in the past, present, and the future. Okay, so Yahshua is saying, I was in the past. Okay, then when he was talking to his disciples, okay, he was in the present. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to come in the future. We know he was going to return again at his second return. I'm just trying to put this stuff together, y'all, okay? Because I love Yahshua, so I'm always trying to figure out some stuff. He be putting some hidden codes and messages in the scriptures. And Thoth is also giving us some secret messages as well. So I'm just trying to put everything together, okay? Now, also, you guys, I want to let you guys know that Yahshua also understood, the halls of Amenti, okay, because he had access to this gateway or this portal within the earth, okay? He's telling you, you know, he has the keys. He holds the keys of death. And what I told you, the Halls of Amenti was the records of what? It had the books of life. It had all the records of the dead, okay? So keep all of this stuff in mind, and I want you guys to meditate on this. I want you to meditate on this, okay? I want you to read the scriptures over and over and over again, and read emerald tablets. And once you keep reading it over and over again, it's going to click. You're going to be like, oh man, I ain't never see this before. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you can do the work yourself. I'm just sharing everything that I've learned. I love doing this. This is exciting for me. I love anything that has to do with solving a mystery. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next slide. Okay, so as you begin to get deeper into the emerald tablets, you will see that Thoth journeyed far into space-time, and he had learned so much wisdom. He investigated or explored the hearts of men and found greater mysteries. He was in search of truth, and he wanted to know more. He lived for a very long time, age after age, and he saw souls reincarnating on the earth. You know, these souls couldn't ascend from the earth, you guys. So they were in spiritual bondage. Okay, so I'm going to read some of the emerald tablets here. It says, free was I of the halls of Amenti, bound not by death to the circle of life. Far to the stars I journeyed until space and time became as naught. Then, having drunk deep of the cup of wisdom, I looked into the hearts of men, and there found I greater mysteries, and was glad. For only in the search for truth could my soul be stilled, and the flame within be quenched. Down through the ages I lived, seeing those around me taste of the cup of death, and return again in the light of life. Okay, so what he is saying is that Thoth ascended, okay, so he was not trapped on the cycle, okay, of reincarnation. That's what he's telling you. He's saying, like, look, I ascended from the earth. I am free. I do not have to keep coming back over and over and over again, because I've already learned my lessons in life. Okay, so what you see here is this wheel, you guys. This is pretty much, I would just say, this is the cycle, okay, of time here on the earth, which is known as the great year. This is the only thing that I could find, so I'm using it here in this video. Hopefully you guys will understand where I'm coming from on this. But as you can see, this wheel, okay, each age, okay, you see 12 ages, you guys, okay. It's 12 constellations, okay, and for each age there's 1,260 years for each age, okay. So if you pretty much 1260 times 12 equals 12,920 years, okay. So that's a great year. So that's like one full cycle, okay. So think about this, y'all. Now, if Thoth said, down through the ages I lived, okay, now, from my understanding, in all my research, the Anunnaki lived for a very long time. Their lifespan was very, very long. So they could live a full 25,920 years and more. Okay, so they could live a very long time. Okay, so if you can only imagine, just sit here and think about this, y'all. Think about souls who are stuck in spiritual bondage, who keeps coming back and reincarnating on this cycle that you see, this wheel, okay, like this little wheel of karma, okay, in all these ages. Think about one soul journeying through each age, through these 12 ages, and still have not learned their lessons in life. And every time they come through and incarnate, they have to go right back in to the next age to learn. And they constantly keep doing this over and over again, okay? So understand this, how he was able to see all the souls who were pretty much stuck in this cycle. Okay, they were stuck in this cycle of time. Okay, he's beyond time. He's outside of time. He's outside of this wheel. Okay, that's what the great masters are of light. Okay, they are beyond this cycle, beyond this. They've learned throughout all of these ages everything that they can possibly learn. But you have to understand, you guys, they lived for a very long time. So one life for them, they could complete all of these ages. Now for us, we don't live very long, okay? We don't live long at all. So if you come in and you, let's just say you live, some people only live what, up to what? Shoot, nowadays people be dying early. But let's just give an example. Like if you was here for about 40 years, 40 or 50 years, and what have you learned within that 40 to 50 year time frame? Have you learned all the lessons that you're supposed to learn, or were you still ignorant? Did you still not understand spiritual things? And then your soul, pretty much when you died, you had to come back and you had to gain more knowledge because your soul was not ready to go to the next level. Okay, so you have to understand this on a higher level, you guys. So, and I also want to let you guys know, this is think about the 12 disciples and think about Yahshua. So in the middle of this, you see a sun. Okay, so think about this in the middle as being the sun. Okay, and all of the ages represents the 12 disciples. Okay, so Yahshua is in the middle of this, and think about the sun going through each age. Okay, so the sun goes through each of these ages. Okay, so there's way more into this, y'all. Okay, so you have to understand astrology and things like that. The Bible has a lot of hidden messages in it pertaining to astrology and this entire thing here. So yes, so currently, you guys, just to let you know, we are currently in the age of Pisces right now, and then we're going to be moving into the age of Aquarius. Okay, so right now on this cycle, there are going to be souls that are going to be ascending out of this age of Pisces. Okay, now if you ain't learned everything you're supposed to learn right, you here, you right here playing games, nah, you you're gonna be right back on this wheel again. Okay, so you can either get it together now, or you come back again and reincarnate on this cycle, and then have to continue to experience all this pain and suffering and all this crazy stuff in the third dimension. You want to ascend out of the third dimension. You don't want to be stuck on this cycle. Okay, you have to go beyond. Okay, you got to go beyond time. Okay, now I'm trying to see if there's anything else I wanted to mention on this. Yeah, so let's go to the next slide. Now I'm going to go ahead and read some more from the Emerald Tablet. So it says, long dwelt we in the land of Chem, long and yet long again, until obeying the commands of the Master, who while sleeping yet lives eternally, I sent from me the sons of Atlantis, sent them in many directions, that from the womb of time wisdom might rise again in her children. Long time dwelt I in the land of Chem, doing great works by the wisdom within me. Upward grew into the light of knowledge the children of Chem, watered by the rains of my wisdom. Blasted I then a path to Amenti, so that I might retain my powers, living from age to age a son of Atlantis, keeping the wisdom, preserving the records. Okay, now I want to make a point. I was like, okay, so Thoth sent out the sons of Atlantis in many directions. So I was thinking about Yahshua when he sent out, his disciples, like his followers out into the whole world to spread his teachings. I'm like, man, look, this just sounds too similar. Like, this, y'all got to be the same person. So it's like, y'all have to be the same person, because I'm like, this is just too close together. Okay, now Thoth blasted a path to Amenti so that he could store his records. from living age to age as a son of Atlantis. So you guys, I put an image here. I understand some stuff on a much higher level. I'm not going to get into it because if I do, a lot of people is not going to understand it. Okay, everybody's not going to understand what I understand or what I see with my third eye open. So I'm just really teaching this on a very basic level, like the most simplest level I can explain it. This is how I'm bringing it. I'm not going to go too deep into the mysteries because usually when I start talking about this stuff, people start coming against me and it just get really crazy and it's just ignorance. And I'm like, I can't do it. I just can't, you know, like I can't help that I can see something that you can't see. So I'm just going to keep it real basic for you guys because that's how I learned, okay, just by being very simple, okay? Now, you see this hall, right? You see this like it's a library, okay? So if you just sit here and imagine space, okay? I just feel like I have to get a little deep. So no, I'm just not gonna go there. So you see these halls, okay, and you see the records here. So just think about, you know, you storing all your records and your books in a library, okay? And this is pretty much what Thoth was doing. He was keeping records of all the knowledge and wisdom, and he was storing it into the Akashic records. Okay, so I'm gonna move forward. More of the emerald tablets here, and it says, "Great grew the sons of Kim, conquering the people around them, growing slowly upwards and so forth. Now for a time I go from among them into the dark halls of Amenti, deep in the halls of the earth, before the lords of the powers, face to face once again with the dweller. Raised eye high over the entrance, a doorway, a gateway leading down to Amenti. Few there would be with courage to dare it. Few past the portal dark Amenti. Reigns over the passage, I, a mighty pyramid, using the power that overcomes earth force or gravity. Deep and yet deeper, place I a force house or chamber. From it carved I a circular passage, reaching almost to the great summit. So you guys know, under the Great Pyramid, there's the underground chamber, and this is where Thoth went to enter the Halls of Amenti. On the higher level, the gateway was a portal or vortex that he entered when he went inside the underground chamber. When you go inside of that chamber that's under the pyramid, it's very dark and there is no light. Okay, so most people are afraid of the dark. So, you know, who would go into a room of complete darkness? Not most people, okay, especially underground and there's no light at all. Okay, so on a much higher level, you know, he's really teaching you about the pineal gland, okay? It activates in complete darkness. When your third eye is pretty much activated, you guys, there's a lot of things that can happen when your third eye is open. You can actually open up a gateway or a portal, and your consciousness pretty much can travel in space time. Okay, so in this chamber, there was no light. Okay, so the light pretty much is in you. Okay, so that means the pineal gland or the third eye is the lamp of the body. Okay, so just sit here and think about this thing here. Okay, so I'm going down under the pyramid. I'm going into this dark room. Okay, and I'm gonna sit there. Okay, I'm gonna lay down. Okay, and just pretend like you're going to sleep in this dark chamber. Okay, and then all of a sudden, whoop, you go into this spiritual experience and you see this vortex opening and you are in space and you are traveling through dimensions and all kinds of things. Okay, and you see a lot of things in these hidden worlds and dimensions and stuff like that. So that's basically what Thoth was doing. He was, you know, a lot of people know about astral projection and things like that, where your soul pretty much leaves your body at night and you get to travel through realms of consciousness. You get to travel to other worlds and things like that. So yeah, if you go deeper into the Emerald Tablets, you will see some of the things that he actually saw during his astral projections when he was out of body. Okay. Okay, I'm going to continue reading. There in the apex set I the crystal, sending the ray into the time space, drawing the force from out of the ether, concentrated upon the gateway to Amenti. Other chambers I built and left vacant to all seeming, yet hidden within them are the keys to Amenti. He who in courage would dare the dark rims, let him be purified first by long fasting, lie in the sarcophagus of stone in my chamber. Then reveal I to him the great mystery. Soon shall he follow to where I shall meet him. Even in the darkness of earth shall I meet him. I, Thoth, Lord of wisdom, meet him and hold him and dwell with him always. So that is interesting, you guys. Yahshua also said that he will always be with us always. So there's another connection there. I was trying to give you like a little secret message. So pretty much, you guys, you can, if you want to achieve this, you can. I have, I've experienced a lot of stuff, and that's pretty much how I was taught, you know, through my own personal spiritual experiences. I went into my own records. So, like I said, yeah. So if you want to achieve this, you can. You can enter into this state where you can actually travel outside of, well, I'm not going to say that because everybody don't have the ability to do that. But for the initiates, you could pretty much lie in the sarcophagus in the chamber and enter the secret gateway. The only way through the gate is, you know, of course, by opening your third eye. Once you open your third eye, you know, Thoth will reveal the great mysteries to you. You would see the truth yourself of what lies beyond in space-time. Once you achieve this, you can travel through time and space and access your own records in the Halls of Amenti. It's possible that you will have to be an ascended master in order to gain the keys to the Halls of Amenti. You know, as Thoth stated, you know, many souls was on a cycle of reincarnation. So those souls who are, you know, on a cycle of reincarnation, they don't have those keys, okay? Thoth could pretty much incarnate at will because he achieved ascension. So he was an ascended master. So most souls on earth have been trapped in bondage for a very long time. So they are not able to ascend out of 3D. They're not able to go beyond. Some of them are not even capable of reaching the level of consciousness that many of us are in because they're still stuck in bondage. They're ignorant. They don't want to wake up. They don't want to be taught. They don't want to learn anything. And when you try to tell them something, they deny it, they reject it, and it keeps them in bondage, in spiritual bondage, you know. And like Thoth said, you know, you have to be pure, you know, and you can, you know, fast, okay? I'm just telling you a little bit something. Do a 3-day water fast if you really want to, if you really truly want to open up the gate, if you truly want to see beyond and you really want to awaken. Fasting is really good, but you have to purify your heart first. If your heart is not pure, yeah, you're just not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to be, you're just not going to be able to see more. You're just not, your heart has to be pure in order for that gate to be opened up. Now, there's a lot of people out here who do astral projection, and sometimes when they do it, they see all kinds of things. Like they'll describe like shadow beings and all kinds of low vibrational things. That's because they're vibrating on a low level, so they're going to attract these shadow beings who are negative beings or negative entities. Okay, so that's why they see these dark beings, and people see demons, and most of the time when people experience paralysis, that's one of the first stages of achieving like this out of body experience or astral projection. So if you are in your bed at night and then for some reason you kind of wake up, but you're not all the way awake and you're like trapped in your body and you can't move or anything like that, like you're trying to move and it's like you're trying to wake up and it's like you screaming and you're like, oh, you can't get out of it. Yeah, you're trapped. You're trapped in your own darkness. And most people see images, shadow beings, or they get scared and they're so fearful. Well, that's because that goes to show you where they are at currently in their journey, in their spiritual journey. Their souls are trapped in darkness and they got to see it for themselves. So you have to get over fear first, okay? Like you have to have love resonated within your heart in order for you to ascend, okay? If not, you're always going to be trapped. You're not going to be free. And when you are free, you will know it. Trust and believe it, okay? I went through it. I've experienced it. I went on my entire journey, and that is because I chose to come here, okay? I didn't have to if I didn't want to, okay? But I chose to come back just like Thoth decided to come back to help humanity, to raise people up, okay? So those who have ascended have the choice. They can incarnate at will. And the things that I was shown in my own spiritual journey, I saw the records. I opened up the gate. I reviewed time. I went back in the past. I saw things that was in my records. Yeah. So, like I said, once you continue to seek knowledge and seek wisdom, I assure you the gate will open up to you. And I can tell anyone how to do it, okay? It's not something that is easy. You will have to continue to work at it. And like I said, the first thing is love. Like you have to surrender to love first. Like if your heart is not right, you are just not going to move forward on your journey. You're going to be on that cycle. I'm sorry to tell you that, but you're not going to be able to move beyond if you do not know how to love. Okay. So I didn't really want to make this video extremely long. There is so much more, and I tried my best to try to just give you a little bit. I'll give you little by little, piece by piece. But there is way more, and this is just a little bit. This ain't even, this is like really basic. And if you guys really want to know more and you really want to get a little bit more information, I do have a page, a ministry page, where you can actually go and read some things that I actually write down. I'm actually better at writing than actually speaking. So if you want to visit my page, it's www.awakeninghigherself.com. So if you want to pretty much see everything that I've went through, what I've learned, I have everything on my page. I've shared a whole lot of things. You will see a whole lot of things there, like oh my God, like it's going to be a range of things on the page, from lower consciousness to higher consciousness. It's going to show you my growth within, the time span of, I started 2015, but I woke up in 2012. So everything that I put on the page has basically been documenting my journey, my ascension, and everything that I've been learning. And it really pretty much shows you the realms that I've entered into as far as like levels of consciousness. And like I say, anybody can do it. And the only thing that I did, you guys, what started my awakening, okay, was me surrendering to love. When I actually surrendered, like for real, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna play no more. I'm gonna really do this thing. I'm gonna do the inner work. I really want to change my life. When I made that decision for myself, everything else, it just changed. And on that day, it was like, that's when the portal opened up for me, and it was like my appointed time to awaken to the mysteries. And I learned that, oh my God, I sent myself here. Okay, so if you have enjoyed this video, please let me know. I tried my best, you guys. I'm not a really good speaker, but I really want to get this information out to you. So that's why I did the video. I didn't really follow the slides like I was supposed to. I always go off, okay, track and everything. But I hope you guys can understand some of this stuff. You can go back through this, pause it, read yourself, meditate on this stuff yourself, and I'll be putting out more videos for you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye. This video was not supposed to be this long. This was not supposed to be this long, babe.